Okay. So, hi Megan.
Hello Amber and Amber's video camera.
Yeah. Lame.
You're lame.
I am. Okay. So this is your Toronto story.
My Toronto, okay.
Yeah, your Toronto story.
I'm just going to tell it?
Yeah, tell your Toronto story.
Okay, well, right now my
let's
Toronto
cut
story
for a
has a
sandwich.
panini sandwich in it. That's not...
Your Toronto story.
Mm-hmm.
How did you come to live in Toronto and specifically the beaches?
Okay, well, about 2 years ago, or almost 2 years ago, I wanted to leave Edmonton.
Alberta? In Canada?
Yes, Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Home of the Oilers and Peter Pocklington and many other people who are much better than Peter Pocklington.
Mm-hmm.
And my parents and my brother and my sister-in-law and my 2 nephews and my friends from high school and my friends from choir.
You left everybody?
Everybody in Edmonton. But in Toronto, okay, basically I chose to move here because all my extended family is here.
Mm-hmm.
So my grandmas were both here at the time, and my cousin lives here with his family. And I have family in Stratford and Belleville. So I thought it was reasonable to go somewhere. Well, basically, part of the pretext for moving here was to move in with my grandma for a bit and help them out, because my cousin had been living with them for 4 years, and she was, getting a bit burned out, basically. So it was time to kind of help, and I've always wanted to be able to do that. So it just kind of worked out that way. So I did live with them for a couple months, and tried to support them the best that I could. And then I moved out a couple months after I got here in the fall, like November 2008.
Mm-hmm.
And I moved here. And the reason I moved here is because my mom, who is a genius, lived just above Lee Avenue for about 2 years when she was in university.
Lee Avenue off Queen Street?
That's right. So when I moved here, when I was looking for an apartment, I found this one that was sort of on Woodbine, like near Gerrard. And it was great, and I really liked it, and it reminded me of my friend Tash's apartment when she first moved out, and I thought that would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I really liked it, and I told my mom, and I was like, I'm totally going to get it. And she's like, well, okay, have you been down to Queen Street in that area yet, though? And I was like, no. And she's like, yeah, you have to go look there at least before you, commit to anything, right? And so I came down here, and I was like, wow, this is paradise. I really need to move here. And I saw this apartment, and it's just beautiful, and I saw a bachelor, too, in the same building, and I was like, this is great, but I'm a spoiled brat, and I want my one-bedroom palace. So I got that, and I still have it, and I love it. It's just a really cool 1920s building with awesome architectural details, which you can appreciate because you live in it too.
Yep.
And
that's how we met.
That's right. And so now I've been here for almost, well, I guess in the beaches I've been here for a year and a half. And Amber, who is videotaping me.
And eating a sandwich, which will probably be the only thing heard on this.
Yeah, I should be eating my sandwich, but I can't.
Haha, my clever plan has come to fruition.
It's mine. You can't have it. So I met Amber because we lived in the same building, and we talked on the streetcar, and now we're friends, and we enjoy that.
I remember the first time we met.
Yeah.
It was on the stairs shortly after I moved in.
That's right.
And that's how I found out you are a
wonderful person, a singer, a member of the building. I don't know. What are you trying to say here?
A practicing
Wiccan?
Yay!
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm not really a Wiccan.
That was their first.
I'm a witch.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, a witch.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
That's the first thing I remember about meeting you.
Okay. Yeah, I've been ignoring that a little bit lately. Well, not ignoring it, but I haven't been as active, which is fine.
That's fine.
But yeah,
I remember that, and then the second time we met, it was on the streetcar, and you had a Janis Joplin book in your hands.
That's right. Yeah.
called Love Janice, and I read it later.
Yeah, that was her. Oh, did you?
Yeah, I did. I have a quote of it on my fridge about her sister saying how her sister Janice fasted and fasted until there was nothing left, blah, 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 whatever. It doesn't work anyway.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that was Laura, her sister's biography of her. And then, like, the summer after that, I read the original, well, I don't know if it's original, but the more famous one by Myra Friedman.
One of her friends, right?
Yeah.
It'd be more
sort of an
real.
agent. I don't know. I'm curious about how good friends they were as such, but yeah, I think it was a little bit more.
So you're.
But it was probably a little bit more sensational too.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, so yes, I love Janis Joplin. I'm all about her. So.
You sing?
I do sing.
What are your credentials in singing? And like setting you up to brag.
Yes. Which is great.
Go on.
I went to music school. I went to a jazz program in Edmonton at the Grant MacEwan, Grant MacEwan is now a university actually, which I'm very, very proud of. But it was a college at the time, and I got a diploma, a comprehensive diploma, which is just sort of a general one, and then I got a composition diploma by doing an extra year. So I have 2 diplomas. The other credential was 6 years in various community-based choirs in Edmonton. All most except for the children's choir, which I started out with. They were all directed by Scott Leafhead. So there was like Kokopelli and the jazz choirs I was in, Nuff Said and Form, and that was just a really, really excellent educational experience. It taught me a lot about singing and a lot about reading music and musicality and performance and all kinds of things, and also it was a good way of learning how to be more self-confident over time. So that was good.
You sing here in Toronto, though, too, don't you? Tell me about how you got involved with that and how you found it, and what singing stuff you do in the area.
Okay. Well, I kind of took a break after music school and focused on being really unhealthy for a while, and then focused on working towards a social work degree. So that was my main thing this year. But I also have always had in mind the plan that I wanted to do music and then social work, and then like have a life with both of them in it. So right now is sort of the time for the integration phase of this plan. And because I don't have any classes, as soon as I finish this one more stupid essay today, I'll be 90% done my degree, and I won't have to do any more classes except for the practicums. So my plan is to make music the focus of my summer, and in fact has been sort of for the past 3 months. So there's a bar down the street called Fitzgerald's.
It opened in 1978.
Did it?
I remember that. It's on the sign, and that's the year I was born.
Oh.
But this is not about me.
Well.
Tell me how you came to know about Fitzgerald.
How did I come?
Bar on
I think
Queenie.
actually I was going to Quigley's a lot, which is the bar really close to where I live, and I was talking to Shane, the bartender, who used to own Fitzgerald's.
Really? I didn't know that.
I think that he's the one who
such
told
a
me
hottie.
this. Yeah, he's pretty good looking.
Okay.
So I think he's the one who told me that there's a jam there. I think. I'm trying to remember now, and I don't even I guess I did actually go there once, like a year ago, and I did sing, but then I just didn't go back. I was preoccupied with school and stuff, and yeah, so so I decided that I was getting too much into the habit of just going to Quigley's and drinking, which is not healthy for me at all. So I decided it would be better to go to a bar where I could sing, and that would be the focus instead of just sitting there drinking, because that's not helpful in any way. So so I went and I had fun. It was great, and I just kept going basically. I took a couple weeks off when my grandma was sick there, but other than that, I've been going basically every day for the past 3 months, and it's really I kind of regretted not going into the performance program at school. So this is basically me getting my performance diploma after the fact.
Yeah.
So it's going great. I have noticed that I'm getting better because of it. I'm more aware of how to communicate with bands and just musicians in general.
Can I interject?
Sure.
I'm gonna anyway. I just did. I've heard you sing, and you're amazing. And you're amazing. You have quite a confidence about it, but you're really good.
Thank you.
And you know that. What you just said. So you're more like a forefront singer, I think. But in this, you're learning how to work with. You get to work with other people, and it's like putting your ego sort of.
Well,
what does it do for you?
I wouldn't say it's putting my ego aside. That's definitely not true.
What is it doing then? What's it teaching you?
It's teaching me how to use my talent to best effect. Mm-hmm. It is teaching me to work with other people, and in some cases, like when I am center stage and I'm performing my songs, then I would definitely say it's a huge ego trip and it's awesome and I love it. But I also get to do like backup vocals for other songs, and like sort of like I like doing the background stuff too. Like, and my friend Olga, who I met through that, like gets to be on stage, and I sang backups for her one time, and like, I love the idea of like you and I doing a song sometime, and you could sort of be the lead, and
a case of you.
Great, exactly, a case of you.
We were practicing that for quite a while.
Yeah, so we could get back to that, and yeah, so it's both. Like it's being confident and comfortable with being center stage, and only expressing anxiety through habits like this one. I
don't often see you express anxiety.
Well, I'm being filmed. It's not a typical occurrence.
I give you kudos to that. Actually, there's something I noticed about you, which I've already talked to you about, but here you are, you're almost alone in this city. But you've gotten out there, you've made friends or acquaintances, you've joined clubs, you've joined groups, you've been more so all over the place in Toronto than I have. And we've lived here around the same amount of time. I moved here May 2007, 2008, 2007.
Like to the beaches, or?
No, I moved to Toronto. I think it was 2007. Oh well, this isn't about me, so I'll figure that out later. But I was down here.
You moved here?
Yeah, I moved. It was 2007, and then I moved here I moved to the beaches in January 2009, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so you were here before me. The point is that, my excuses aside, you've managed to somehow find all these other activities to do in Toronto. Can you share some of those activities you've given a try, or at least gone out there, and can you let people like me, who are anxious and want to get out there but are nervous or don't know other people very well, or whatever excuses I have, how do you beat the excuses, and how do you find all these things to do, and tell us some of the things you've done?
I think, my therapist actually suggested that I create some kind of I'm a social work student, right? So create some kind of workshop to help people who want to become more social and figure out how to do that.
I liked your hand gesture.
Yeah, I saw that. So basically, what I actually did was, when I moved here, I knew about the site meetup.com. It's like meetup.com.
Yep.
And it's very, very useful for people who don't know anyone to sort of find groups of people that are interested in similar things. So I joined a feminism one, and I joined a walking group, and I joined a music lovers group, and I joined two that I think are kind of interesting are the Discworld series of books I love, so I joined that group. And then the other one that is a good example is I joined it's like a pagan meetup group. They have, and it's just sort of another way of advertising this social event that they have every month. It's sort of a social networking in the pagan community thing. And the reason I bring that up is because that's a good example of how I've become involved in other things. So I started with that site as sort of a primary way of jumping into things. But because I went to that pagan one, I found out that there's a Wiccan Church of Canada in Toronto, so I started going to that every Sunday for a while, and I met people through there. And then I found out about a different group that's an offshoot of that I was going to for a while, and like I said, I haven't been doing that for a little while. But
you're solitary anyway.
For the most part, yeah. But I still know those people, and I would be welcome back if I went or whatever. So stuff like that. But then there's also stuff like choir, right? I was vaguely looking for a choir, and I looked on Craigslist and the musicians thing, and there was an ad. So it's just sort of about keeping, I think in terms of advice for people, I'd say it's just keeping your eyes open for stuff. There's always posters at the library about things. I went to a talk about youth homelessness because of something I saw at the library, and if you I saw this ad for this choir, and I checked it, rather than just saying, oh, that's kind of cool, I should do that, I actually contacted the person and found out about it and went to a rehearsal to check it out. And now, that was in September, and now you know, I'm going on tour next weekend with them, and I premiered like my first choral arrangement ever because of this group, and I am on the board of it, and I have made friends that way, and that's by far the most successful social thing I've done. So
yeah, an original piece you wrote.
Yeah,
and composed.
So I mean, that's kind of how you do it. You just kind of keep your eyes open, and then also take risks. Like, you just have to go for it. There's nothing. I mean, like, it can be kind of socially awkward at first, but you just go for it, and like, no one's gonna kick you out. You know, like, you just try. And like, some of the things I've tried haven't really like caught or worked for me or whatever. Like that walking group, the person who organized it, I found a little bit weird, so I stopped going and whatever. But you know, you just try. It's not going to hurt anything.
Yeah, you've done a lot of things. Like you're always joining something and doing something, and some of it, I've noticed you kept with, and that's fantastic.
I mean, part of that is because, like you said, like I feel like I am making friends now. Like I've been friends with you for quite a while now, but I also made a friend at the jam session, Olga, and I'm trying to get to know people there more. And Stella, my neighbor, I started becoming friends with, and then people through the choir. So 2 years in, I'm making friends and stuff, but before that, and even still now, if you don't have a lot of like close friends in the city, and you know, I still have close friends in Edmonton, but I don't talk to them very much, right? Then it's very helpful to have activities that you can go and do, and even if you're not really close with those people, you're still
interacting.
You're getting some social experience, and you have the chance of meeting someone who you can become friends with. Like the feminism meetup group was just a meetup group, but you know, Tara came to my concert, for instance, because I knew her through that, and because I became more involved in that. So.
Woot Facebook.
Huh?
Facebook.
Yeah.
Facebook helps with events.
Yeah, Facebook does help. It's true.
I think that's awesome that you've done so much.
Look at my accomplishment.
So you live in the beaches, but you've been able to see other parts of Toronto.
Yeah.
Would you ever live elsewhere in Toronto?
I really like the beaches. I don't really intend to move anytime soon, but I've seen other places that I would like Dundas West is kind of neat, and St. Clair, like West, and the Annex kind of area is kind of neat, and yeah, there's a few places like that, and like that closer to Danforth would be kind of cool too.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel so betrayed, as though you...
No, but I like it the best here. I love living here. It's like a little town, and it's like being in Toronto, but it is sort of like being outside of Toronto.
Yep.
Like no one wants to come here. I don't know what's wrong with people there. It's like another planet or something. Like really not that far.
I've heard. No, that's exactly. You know what? One time I think I'd mentioned to someone that it'd be neat to have poetry down here, like at Fitzgerald's or something, you know, that upstairs lounge is so great.
They don't use it all the time either.
And people were like, oh, that's too far. And it is a Queen Streetcar ride. It's like we're right on the Queen Streetcar line.
It's fun to ride on the streetcar.
Yeah, but people are like, 30 minutes on the streetcar, boo. And they don't want to do it. And I'm thinking they're missing out. And then there's this whole Queen West versus very far Queen East thing. Did you notice? And
it's very much like the Edmonton-Calgary thing.
there you go. The other thing that was said, I remember, is it's all baby strollers down here. And unfortunately, it's true. Yeah, it's true. It is true. Like, it's a great place to raise kids.
You can walk around them, though.
Good point. See? Here's to all the people of Queen West. You can walk around them. No, seriously, it's great down here.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I never thought of it. Okay, I'm going to turn this off so you can eat your sandwich.
Okay, thank you for...
Or I'm going to zoom in.
Amber.
Yeah, but I felt like there was more we could talk about.
I'm sure there is.
But that was a good first... What do you think?
I think that's great.
I think we'll try to edit this with some clips of maybe you at a jam or something.
That would be cool.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks, Amber.